And now, with just a minor delay, I'd like to introduce a very dear friend of mine who I've known for over 30 years, since our beginnings in dental school. Dr. Louis Luigi Rossman gave me the honor of working alongside him to make his vision for this meeting a reality, and I am very grateful for that opportunity. I would also like to thank his wonderful, beautiful wife, Val, for sharing him with us this year. Thank you, Val. In case you haven't noticed, Luigi truly pours his whole heart and soul into everything he does and has genuinely enjoyed leading the AAE this year. Unfortunately, some of you still don't know who he is. This past February, I had the opportunity to sit with Luigi at an AAE district luncheon where he just made a passionate speech. He looked spiffy. He looked great. He spoke about the condition of the AAE, the state of the AAE, and we came off and we went right to lunch, and we're sitting down. He's feeling really good, and we sat down. He's having a conversation with this young endodontist, and at the end of the lunch, he turns to the endodontist and asks, "So are you going to be going to Orlando?" And she said, "You know, I'm just not sure yet. I haven't decided." And she turned to him, and she looked at him in all seriousness and said, "Are you?" Well, you know, as they say, his face, it was priceless. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my extreme pleasure to introduce our AAE president, at least for a few more days, Dr. Louis Luigi Rossman. Okay, pal.
Thanks
Go
so
get
much.
him.
Great speech. Thank you.
That's not that side.
You don't look puffy. Okay. Good morning. I feel like I have to say good morning, good morning. We slept the whole night through, but I've already challenged you to put a spring into your step, and I'm glad to see even the people in the back of the room got up and got the juices flowing. My next challenge is for you to have another cup of coffee, have a second cup of coffee, and please sit and listen to what I would like to share with you today. It's an honor for me to welcome you to Orlando, and an even greater privilege to have served as your president of our American Association of Endodontists. Seems like yesterday, when I first came in touch with this organization, I was sitting where each of you sits. I was the guest of my father, Sam Rossman. I was maybe 10 years old, 12 years old. It was a meeting at the Marriott in Philadelphia. I remember sitting there eating my breakfast and thinking that whoever the guy was up front was talking much too long. So it's with that in mind that I'll try to be brief in conveying the thoughts that have cemented themselves in my mind over the last few months. I've traveled to meetings with many of you this year. I've read, I've responded to your emails, phone calls, letters, and in the process, I've seen that your concerns are many, your opinions numerous, your passion for our specialty great. Like a guest at a fabulous concert hall, I've listened to the many voices that have come forth from every corner of the world. And I've tried to give each and every person that bit of personal attention that can sometimes make a tremendous difference. In the process, and throughout my professional life, I've realized the very truth that galvanized the founding fathers of our country long before I ever sat at this event with my father. These same founding fathers helped us found this organization. E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. My father exposed me to endodontics as a child, and I've harbored an intense passion for the specialty since then. I love what I do. We need to keep that kind of personal commitment at our core and never forget that this organization is the embodiment of the members' collective thoughts and actions. Seared into my genetic makeup is the idea that this specialty of endodontics is more than the sum of its parts, that out of many, we are truly one. The list of dental luminaries I had the privilege to learn from early in my career cannot be repeated in its entirety. But whether it was Weisgold, Abrams, Bender, Friedland, Grossman, Seltzer, Stewart, Engel, Oliot, Amsterdam, Cohen, or my own dad, Sam Rossman, each and every one of them sang from the song sheet that we all sing from when it comes to our specialty. Learn, teach others, give back. E pluribus unum. The message, the dedication, the passion of my mentors are what inspired me to serve in the many roles that have led me here to this place today. With their inspiration at heart, I've tried to work under a specific call to action, a call for all of us to become energized, engaged, and educated. And I'm delighted to see what I see here today. For all the many endodontic leaders who boldly voice their ideas, there are dedicated supporters who provide resources, guidance, and encouragement. For all the brilliant academicians who patiently nurture learning in their classrooms around the world, there are throngs of willing students who consider the truth with an objective mind. For all the visionary researchers who pioneer the unexplored corners of the specialty, there are sponsors motivated to invest in the seeds of tomorrow's discoveries. What I see in our association is many gifted, enthusiastic professionals coming together as one remarkable, powerful force, each of us giving back in our own way. We come from all walks of life, shaped by our own experiences and influential people. I have my own broad network of supporters, chief among them, my wife Val. Val's heard this speech so many times, she thinks it's automatic that I'm going to say this. But I promise it's for real and it's from the heart. Val, you relish life as much as I do. Please stand. Val is my artist. She's run 11 marathons. She's my best friend. I have no other choice. You're my best friend. She's my editor this year. She's an incredible cook if you ever come to Philadelphia. She's a biking, skiing, rock climbing partner. She's a Torah reader. She's read the Old Testament I don't know how many times, the Quran, the New Testament. She has given up a year of normal life so that my profession could have me 24/7. She has given me to you this year. For the rest of our years, you know the rest of it. Together, I will be giving back to her. B. Rossman, my 89-year-old piano-playing music teacher, her mom. Where would I be without her and my dad, Sam? After raising me, she kept playing her Steinway, began traveling from country to country. This past year, she cruised the world. Raise your hands so the camera can see you, B. She cruised the world. She went to Taos, New Mexico. She went to France to see the Tour de France. She says it's because she wants to escape the angel of death. So I say, B, keep moving and don't get caught. I wish everyone in this room the same health and zest for life my mom has. I know I got my spunk from her. My children. My children. Hello, Lexi. Hello, Ben. Don't let me knock it over. They're the apples of my eye. Lexi is a first-year law student. She's planning to work at the U.S. Attorney's Office this summer. Her real body is currently at Villanova Law School studying for finals that coincide with this weekend. You guys okay standing there? Okay. Ben, my All-American son, is playing his last lacrosse game of the season at Harvard, actually at Dartmouth, against Harvard. His girlfriend goes to Harvard. I think the decision was easy for him. He attends Dartmouth College, an Ivy League school in New Hampshire. I have put everything I am into my kids, and I am happy to share them with the rest of the world in what I know will be my best act of giving yet. My brother Fred, right over there, he has a similar haircut. Comes down from northern Vermont. He's in obstetrics and gynecology. He lives at Stowe. If you ever stop in Stowe, you can ski, you can stay at his house, you can deliver a baby, anything you'd like. My mother-in-law, EK, sitting over here. Raise your hand, EK, for the camera. Without EK, I wouldn't have Val. She's here with her husband, Lester. Steve, psychopharmacologist, with his girlfriend, Diane. I'm going to sit him next to Ken Hargraves, and they're going to chatter back and forth. And my best friend, Ernie Delheim. Raise your hand, Ernie. Flew in last night just for the speech. I have another great friend back there, Harold Baumgarten. I don't know where you are, but you may have heard him yesterday. Their support means a lot to me, and I'm thankful for their presence. Did I forget anything, buddy, Al? Okay, good. My office staff. Where's my office staff? You have to stand up. Where are they? Stand up. My office staff has also given a lot this year. Is this the hottest office staff you ever saw? Come on, let's hear it. The hottest 3 chicks you ever saw. You didn't think I'd say that, did you? I don't need to tell you where I'd be without these beautiful people. My patients leave the office smiling or laughing after each root canal. I get incredible feedback from my staff because they give our staff incredible attention. So thank you. They did a lot of scheduling this year with smoke and mirrors. They have the whole process mastered. If you're ever asked to step up and serve, I will rent my staff to you. I promise you won't be disappointed. That's my personal network. What about you? Each of you has your own special group of people, family, friends, co-workers, mentors. They each helped you to get where you are today. They inspire you to do things you could never do on your own. What does it get and what does it take for us to get to where we want to be tomorrow? How do we overcome challenges so much bigger than we are? Things like the influx of implants, the shortage of endodontic educators, the shifting referral patterns of general practitioners in the face of a receding economy. My answer is that we need to continue doing what our iconic predecessors did before us, coming together around one shared vision of the future, out of many individual families, offices, and hopes. United, we will stand, but divided, we will fall. When I was young, I played the clarinet in an orchestra. In an orchestra, everyone plays together. When you play together, you create a perfect hum. I was always taught that if you can hear yourself playing, you are playing too loudly. This same concept applies to us as a group as we face our future. We can and should merge our own individual efforts into a single, glorious symphony. As you may know, in a symphonic orchestra, musicians sit in various sections. They sit in the sections based on what instruments produce what sounds. Under the AAE orchestra, under the direction of a different conductor each year, you can sit with the instrument family that best matches your gifts and talents. Whether you're unidirectional, like an oboe, charming, like a harp, bold, like a timpani, or subtle, like a viola, your unique contributions combine into a musical masterpiece that is a legacy to those who will follow. Allow me to give you an example of how this works. When President Obama took office, he was able to assemble his cabinet by choosing people he wanted to work alongside. People he knew would work in concert with him to implement his desired goals. I also had the opportunity to pick one person with whom I worked very closely this year, the general chair for this annual session. I'm going to ask you to stand in a second. Ron and I go back to dental school at the University of Pennsylvania. We're in the class of we were in the class of 1975. Not as far back as you think it is. Then we went on to grad endo at Penn and graduated from there, obviously. Ron is the prime example of a can-do attitude. Someone who can take on a real challenge with real pluck and a smile on his face. I don't think you've ever had a bad day in your life, Ron. He was like the concert meister, the first violinist that the orchestra tunes to, leading an impressive group of people on the annual session planning committee in developing a scientific and social program that's the best we've ever had. Ron, please stand to be recognized. There were others who inspired this event, including my friend Jeff Hutter, who came up with the Beach Boys as entertainment for Celebrate Orlando. Thank you, Jeff. But I didn't get to choose everyone in my cabinet because I serve as an elected official alongside other elected officials. Yes, the AAE Board of Directors is comprised of people you put into office to represent you, to voice your concerns and champion your causes. They are another mini version of the AAE orchestra. Perhaps we could call them our chamber orchestra. Officers of the executive committee are like principal chairs in each section. These people sacrifice 3 years, and sometimes more, to do the job you ask of them. Members of the board and executive committee, please stand. Thank you. They are engaged in what they do for you 100%. They do their work with the energy that is demanded during multiple conference calls and meetings throughout the year. They are educated in every aspect of the specialty, spanning the armed forces, academia, research, and clinical practice. They represent MBAs, DMDs, DDSs, JDs, PhDs. They ask a wealth of questions and have their feet planted firmly on the ground when it comes to doing the right thing by our members. My friends, you have been unbelievable. I cannot thank you enough. Some of you may wonder how closely the AAE board reflects your immediate needs and how much has the association done for you lately. It is especially easy to think along these lines when the economy is in a recession, when the patient chair sits empty. So I want to spend some time explaining the ways I think the AAE gives back to you, and at the same time, I'll point out how easy it would be for you to give back to the specialty in your own way. Last summer, as I started my term as president, I joined the board of directors for a leadership retreat that energized our sense of teamwork and purpose and propelled us into a wonderful, productive year. We immediately became involved in planning and developing a first ever consensus conference on diagnostic terminology. This engaged many of the leading minds from all over the world, all corners of the endodontic world. We had discussions on the use of endodontic terms. The conference, boldly shepherded by my good friend, Jerry Glickman, was a first important step towards reaching consensus on the terminology, definitions, evaluation criteria, and treatment modalities for pulpal and periapical disease. I encourage each of you to review the outcomes of that historic event when they are published this summer in the JOE. Correct, Ken? Thank you. Now, to the elephant in the room, implants. I am a single practitioner and a part-time educator. I have a full-time practice, and believe me, I understand your needs. Many of you are concerned about implants taking over dentistry and taking over endodontics. Some of you are already placing implants, and others have decided you will never place an implant in your life. All of you are right. Endodontics works. Implants work. What we should be asking ourselves is what Shep Goldstein always says. Quote, "What is best for the patient?" End of quote. The keys to truly determining what works best are the needs of the patient and that person's situation. In my opinion, the ongoing discourse over which is the better treatment option comes from a lack of confidence. The confidence level for keeping a natural tooth has decreased in direct adverse relation to the increase in the placement of implants. Why is this? We know that the success rate for both treatments is the same. We know that there are fewer post-treatment complications with root canal-treated teeth. We know that the full spectrum of endodontic treatments can nearly save every compromised tooth there is. Furthermore, late last year, more than 250 people, including many endodontic students, filled our fall conference on implants in endodontics to maximum capacity. Everyone there had a fervent desire to learn even more, to become educated and more comfortable with this new and controversial treatment option. they became comfortable with its relationship to endodontics. So why the lack of confidence? There are a number of reasons, starting with the fact that not everyone in dentistry recognizes the advances in our specialty. As a result, many teeth that could be saved are not even being evaluated by us for the long-term prognosis. They are simply being yanked. Has this been brought on by dentists or by the marketing departments of dental implant companies or by our own lack of activism? It is our duty as endodontists to get out there and deliver a message of confidence. The AAE is driving education in this arena so that you and others in the dental profession can be knowledgeable in the ethical and clinical implications of implant placement. And that's whether you've personally placed an implant or not. The people who attended our fall conference in San Francisco left that event knowing a lot more about implants. And now they will be a more valuable and credible player on the dental team. We can and should be part of a process that evaluates what's best for the patient, taking into account all relevant factors. To do so, we need to be credible in our knowledge of when implants are the best choice, though we should certainly exhaust the full spectrum of endodontic treatment first. The AAE has a special task force studying implant-related issues, and several committees have cooperated to develop a slew of resources for you to educate your colleagues and your patients. Go to the AAE website. Look at the material. Be comfortable with the website. Download that material and use it when talking to your colleagues. Better yet, join our efforts by initiating constructive dialogues with others outside your personal support network about advances in endodontic treatment, the value of retaining the natural tooth, and the benefits of a team approach to treatment planning. Spend time teaching dental students. Spend time teaching dental students. It is imperative that our message be delivered to undergraduate and pre-doctoral dental students before they graduate. Those are the future dentists who need to be taught early on to uphold a multidisciplinary approach to treatment planning and a confident stance on endodontics. Likewise, I'd like to encourage our young endodontists, and I would like to encourage them, to stay abreast of all the new research, topics, and engage their colleagues. Find resources and find ways to bring them together from dental school, from the community, and consult with them regarding the new treatments that we provide. Let them develop the confidence as you teach them. You must learn from each other and from those of us who have more experience so that you can keep your confidence high about the bright future. You cannot do it alone. E pluribus unum. Every year, the AAE supports the largest gathering of endodontic residents in this country to cultivate the bonds of networking and friendship among our youngest colleagues. APACES, as it's called, but in 2008, was held in August at Boston University with Dr. Jeff Hutter, Dean of Boston University Goldman School of Dental Medicine. I now ask Dr. Nidhi Prakash to come forward, please, and come to the podium. There she is. And we have a plaque to present. You were just terrific. You welcomed us. You took care of us. Thanks so much for everything. Thank you. We have to shake hands, I think. Okay. Stand for the picture. Okay. Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
And this is the check. This goes to Dr. Hutter, okay, for the endodontic department. You can't cash it, okay? Fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
APC's 2009 will be held at the University of Washington, August 7th to 9th. I know all the residents will be there. We had 100% attendance from the second-year residents. I'd love to see a repeat of that. Just get there and everything else is taken care of. There is a crisis in our profession, a crisis which stems from a lack of endodontists being willing to invest in our younger generation while they're still in dental school. It seems as though our future referrers are being taught by everyone but us. They are being enticed to try the latest and greatest by industry, even if it is not based on science. They are inheriting tremendous debt so they can market themselves. They employ droves of staff so they can stay abreast of administrative requirements. They stay abreast of competition, but they spend less and less time nurturing their professional development and relationships. How easy it is in such an environment to make decisions based on economics and not on quality of care. Values and expectations are the responsibility of those in charge. Starting in dental school, where the first signs of poor judgment should be corrected and disciplined. As endodontists, it is our responsibility to teach, inform, and set the bar as high as we can. If we all volunteered to teach at the local dental school and form relationships with future dentists, we could easily restore the confidence and standard of excellence we once knew. The standard of excellence that our mentors instilled in us. E pluribus unum. Nowadays, I'll admit that demonstrating integrity and excellence to others is a difficult task. For one thing, society teaches us to be skeptical and critical. The pop culture influence tempts us with vanity and intellectual sloth. It's difficult to avoid this negative whirlwind ourselves, let alone influence others to behave and change their behaviors and perceptions. When things aren't going well, we look at the external factors in the profession that are beyond our control. We point fingers. We bicker about what if could have, what should have happened, but didn't. It's human. It's human nature. But negative energy helps no one. It creates discord and dissonance in our specialty's composition. That's why I admire our diplomates. Those among us who can speak firsthand about commitment, clinical excellence, and integrity because they invested in their own through the board certification process. These are the voices that we can rely on to raise the bar, modeling exemplary dedication beyond the shadow of a doubt for those in their formative phases of their careers. They are the lead instruments from whom we should take our cues. Diplomates are the product of the nurturing guidance of the American Board of Endodontics, and I applaud the ABE. Wherever you are. But influencing excellence also requires a steady investment of financial and human capital into our academics. The AAE Foundation, with annual support from the AAE Alliance, has taken the lead in investing in our future with many grants for endodontic educators and residents. And for this, we are grateful. The Postgraduate Fellowship Award grant gives $100,000 to an endodontist in practice 10 years or less who agrees to teach full-time for 5 years. You hear that, kids? You may want to follow that path. Did you hear what I said? We have money to give away. is because of your contributions to the foundation, we now have a basis, a core, that we have built up where we're generating interest that goes back to helping the future of our specialty. If you're in frustration and out in clinical practice for 10 years or less, and you want to spend 5 years in education, we will give you $100,000 to make that move. Come back to education. I will get Clara Spatafor to come to your house and help you move. We want to support and stimulate an institution's fundraising for an endowed faculty chair. So we will give $100,000 to that institution if they meet the requirements. In addition to the competitive grants, the foundation also provides $500, this was the first year, to every first-year resident towards a research project. These efforts strengthen endodontic education by ensuring that endodontics is taught by endodontists. We want to have a high visibility, and we want to be well represented in all accredited dental schools. Beyond that, endodontic educators receive assistance from the foundation to attend this annual meeting, and the foundation supports the annual AAE Educator Workshop. In what was the first program of its kind, the dental specialties, the foundation began investing in future educators back to 2000 through its visionary Endodontic Educator Fellowship Award, which pays tuition plus $2,500 a year for living, $2,500 a month while they're in school for living expenses. All they must do is commit to 5 years of teaching in an accredited dental school. 14 fellowships have been granted since the program was initiated in 2000, and I am happy today to recognize the Foundation Fellows who are completing their first year of teaching. With the following fellows come to the stage: Dr. Jennifer L. Gibbs, Assistant Professor at the University of California at San Francisco. Please hold your applause. Please hold your applause. We'll have a chance at the end. Dr. Tree Nguyen, Assistant Adjunct Professor at the University of California at San Francisco. Be careful to step. Thanks. And just stand over here, please. Okay. Thanks. Dr. Takashi Komabayashi, Assistant Professor in the Department of Endodontics, Texas A&M Health Science Center at Baylor College of Dentistry, and Dr. Drew R. Bruckner, Assistant Professor and Division Head of Endodontology at the University of Manitoba, is also being recognized but could not be with us today. Thank you so much. Now, Fellowship Award. And I won't break these, I promise. But you're going to have to use Windex, okay? Because my hand is sweaty.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all you do for us. Thank you. Oh, you're not Jennifer. That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything. Thank you. Thanks for all the dedication. Thank you. Thank you. Watch your step. Thank you. The foundation has also named a new fellow this year, Dr. Satish Alapati. Dr. Alapati will be attending the University of Illinois at Chicago's endodontic program with a graduation date of 2011. I met him the other night. Nicest guy you ever want to meet. Go up and shake his hand. Dr. Alapati, there you are. Raise your hand. As with many classical music compositions that were commissioned by patrons committed to the arts, so the foundation offers a perfect opportunity for each and every endodontist to share his or her talent or treasure for the development of lasting gifts to our specialties. In spite of the current economic downturn, the foundation will still maintain an aggressive giving program. More than $1 million is allocated for grants in 2009, and now is a great time for people to take advantage of these programs. The foundation is the only organization that supports every accredited endodontic program. So as institutions start to trim their budgets, the foundation grants become even more important than before. If you're one of those people who haven't pledged, I am pleading with you. We're asking to start today and make a pledge of $1 a day for 5 years. That comes to $2,000, just $1 a day for 5 years. Sign up at the Oasis. You'll see the foundation booth. Please get on board and support your future. If you do it, I promise you'll get no more phone calls. This is perhaps a good time to address another issue that has been the cause of some discussion among us lately. It has to do with the stewardship of funds and the accountability of AAE leaders in ensuring that the most value is derived from every one of your dues dollars. Even before our nation's economy went into recession, your board of directors spent countless hours evaluating questions about AAE finances that were brought up last year. After proceeding with due diligence to understand and investigate all concerns, we obtained a clean audit by an independent auditing firm, and the board has concluded that our finances are sound and managed with full regard to both law and the guidance of our members. We can, thank you. We can always do more and often better. To ensure continued transparency and alleviate workloads for executive committee and the board as we move forward, a budget and finance committee has been reinstated and now reviews all proposed budgets. We welcomed a new chief financial officer to our headquarters staff this year, hired a new auditing firm, and formed a special committee of member volunteers to document our financial policies. We have taken these steps to ensure that there will be no room for any concerns about our finances in the future. The AAE past presidents who have vested interest in our success have a wealth of experience to share. They've been apprised of all these activities. They've received special newsletters, and they attended a past president's breakfast in October. The AAE report is available to members on the AAE website. So again, go on the website, become comfortable with all the tabs, and become comfortable using it. There's a lot of information there. It's been published in the communique, the JOE, detailing the state of our financial operations for your reference. Most importantly, as the stock market began contracting, I like that word, contracting, late last fall and throughout the winter months, our board spent hours going through the current budget and the investment policy and acted quickly and decisively to cut costs while maintaining valuable programs. We would not cut the Master Clinician series, which makes its debut here at this event. I have been personally devoted to ensuring that we will be vigilant and conservative in our approach to the AAE's finances, but also nimble in our response to the realities of the economy. We made approximately $600,000 worth of expense reductions and revenue enhancements this year, representing 7% of the AAE budget. Saturday events such as Saturday night's evening President's Dinner Dance were cut from the budget, including several face-to-face meetings. We retracted to make this cut available for our members. I thank you for your continued faith and trust in our judgment. Thank you. Throughout this entire process, members of our headquarters staff have been stalwart, reliable resources, beginning at the top with Jim Drynan. Jim, would you just please stand? I'd like to acknowledge you. You may sit now. Thank you. Yeah. I don't want people to see you blush. Most of you have never had the opportunity to meet Jim. Go up to him at this meeting and introduce yourself. He's tall, obviously. He's poised. He's always full of advice, and he'll be glad to give it to you, but he'll only give the advice if he's asked. Folks, this man is an attorney. He is extraordinarily bright and extraordinarily organized. He has been a mentor to just about all of the staff in the central office. He's been an aide and a supporter, and his focus and energy has been unending. This man's professional life is our association, and I am glad to have him serve with us with his incredible allegiance and his incredible professional team. I'd like Jim to stand along with all staff from the AAE office that's in the room right now, please. I wish each member here could get to know you, Jim, as I have. We appreciate all the support each of the staff provide for our members. Call the central office anytime. You'll see what I mean. There are many in the association like Jim who have the tenacity and the determination to build up the specialty without needing to be noticed, and who contribute their own elbow grease and a positive power of thinking to achieve the good of the whole. These are endodontists who come together with others at a shared table, recognize the diversity of opinion that there is, put aside personal differences in a respectful manner that is collaborative and creative and benefit others. This is the real character of our real symphonic orchestra. To honor those individuals in a special way, the AAE conveys 2 Spirit of Service Awards each year. Recipients of this award demonstrate the true spirit of leadership by devoting a significant amount of time and expertise to create effective partnerships in the dental community. They impact dental organizations, they benefit patients, and those patients that are particularly underserved. At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. John D. Hartness and Dr. Robert A. Goldberg to come to the stage. Why don't you step? Come on over here, stand up here. Be comfortable, look out, enjoy it while I talk about each one of you. Dr. Hartness has been an exceptional member of the association since 1973. His commitment to his community includes volunteering time at the dental staff of Nash General Hospital in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and service to the North Carolina Medical Assistance Program. He has coordinated healthcare delivery for the underserved population in eastern North Carolina and for the 5th District Dental Society. Dr. Hartness has held leadership roles within the specialty as a past president of the Tar Heel Endodontic Association and former vice president of the Southern Endodontic Study Group, and the larger dental community as past president of the Nash Edgecombe Halifax Dental Society. Dr. Hartness, you have demonstrated the true spirit of leadership throughout your career, and it is my pleasure to give you the Spirit of Service Lifetime Dental Community Volunteer Award. Thank you. I'm going to give the award to you in 1 second as soon as I get it. This is a one-man show right here. Let's stand over here. We'll get a picture, and then you're going to say some words. Thank you. Thank you. Let me carry this over here, and then you can say words, and I'll give it back to you afterwards.
I would like to thank my many friends, the awards committee, the directors, and all of you of the AAE who have presented me this prestigious award. I'm overwhelmed and humbly accept it. Thank you.
Thank you. stand here for a moment. And if you want to go back, you may. Or you can stay here. You're taking the audience this way. Dr. Goldberg currently serves at the AAE Clinical Practice Committee and is also a member of the Journal of Endodontics Scientific Advisory Board. He's involved in various leadership roles, including service as a past chair of the AAE Resident and New Practitioner Committee, and as a member of the University of Illinois at Chicago Admissions Committee. Dr. Goldberg has written articles for dental journals, presented several programs on subjects, including endodontics, and has been honored with a number of awards. He is Clinical Associate Professor at UIC and the Evanston Northwestern Hospital General Practice Residency program. He maintains a private practice. And Dr. Goldberg, I am pleased to recognize your leadership early in your career with the Spirit of Service New Practitioner Dental Community Volunteer Award. He's also going to be presented with an ABE, American Board of Endodontics, pin today because he just passed his boards. I like the glasses, new glasses. Nice, yeah, I like them. They're going to look on the picture. Okay. Great. Eric, we want copies of those. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Watch your stuff going down. The AAE Government Affairs Committee introduced the Spirit of Service Award as an outgrowth of the AAE Step Up program. This program is a grassroots effort aimed at getting endodontists like you involved in leadership roles that make an impact on organized dentistry and community service. Our goal is to make sure there is an endodontist at every table when critical decisions affecting our specialty are made, and to make a difference in the lives of our patients by helping those that are underserved. A special step-up survey is distributed to you in your meeting packets. Please fill them out and bring them to the Dental Oasis, the Endodontic Oasis, and hand them in. We'd appreciate returning the survey so we can have an idea of who is helping who. I also encourage you to support ADPACT, American Dental Association Political Action Committee, that helps elect political officers and political candidates who support dentistry. The entire AAE Board of Directors this past year marched down and made a pledge to the ADPAC Capital Club this past fall, and I would urge all of you who are ADA members to do the same. Mark DeRosier, Chair of Government Affairs Committee, has the forms with him. Mark, can you stand? So please see Mark or Denny Zent. Thank you, Mark. Denny Zent at the end of this session with your contribution. As president, with the support of the entire board, I also have the distinct pleasure of recognizing one individual whom I believe to have contributed in this specialty and to the specialty in ways that otherwise would never be acknowledged. I am pleased to convey the President's Award on this occasion to our colleague, Dr. Terrell Proper. Terrell, please come to the stage. Watch your step. I get a kiss from you. I know you well enough. You okay? Wait. You know, I have one of those. Wait. Look at this. I'm like a mother today.
You could blow me off of this stage right now.
Okay, there you go. Okay. No, I'm saying something.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Terrell, and please, everyone, I appreciate, stay with us, please. We only have a couple more minutes. Terrell is like a soloist in the famous chorale finale of Beethoven's Last Symphony, Symphony No. 9. She's a critical catalyst in our core member volunteers. And today, I'd like to joyfully sing your praises. She takes on anything that's ever asked of her with enthusiasm I have ever rarely seen. In 2001, Terrell was the general chair. Relax for a second, okay? You got your chance. At the annual session in New Orleans, she was general chair, and I had the pleasure of being her program chair. She served on 7 different committees in 5 years, working on everything from clinical practice to quality education and membership insurance. She was a dedicated member of the board of directors for 3 years for District 4 and has served, okay?
Yeah.
On the annual session, and she's agreed to serve on the annual session planning committee for the next 4 years. With all that work, she's left a lasting impression, you know that, on many of us. She's a professional who is not only intelligent, but she's also a heck of a lot of fun to be around. Her laughter, her sense of humor is infectious, and she never compromises on expressing what she really feels. If you want Terrell's opinion, and if you don't want her opinion, you're still going to get it. Terrell, you're a first-class Southern lady, and I'm proud to serve this specialty with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't get a tear on my eye, on my tie. Don't get the. You all right? Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay. Say something.
I'm so shocked by this presentation and so moved that this organization has afforded me the opportunity to make so many friends and to establish relationships that I'll never forget. Being active in this association has completed my professional life. And as I've told many people, at this point in my career, doing root canals, excuse me, I'm usually not speechless, but I am absolutely speechless. Doing root canals has really become secondary to my love for this association. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank him, who I've seen in his boxer shorts at 3 o'clock in the morning. Sorry, Val.
She's fine with that.
And I appreciate this honor so much. And I feel like I just got the Academy Award. Thank you very much.
Someone, let's take a picture over here, okay? Come on over here.
Had I known I was going to receive this award, I would have worn something different.
Okay, you all right to walk back by yourself?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Welcome. It's from the entire board. Watch yourself, you. Just think what we could do for our specialty if we had 10 more Terrells. The truth is that any one of you could be an award winner in the eyes of a young dentist. With your standards of excellence, your strength of character, your zeal, you can influence and instill in confidence in those you mentor and inspire a whole new generation of volunteers to come and continue in the footsteps of greatness that we so admire. As you leave this event, you will return to your daily grind. And hopefully, you will be heartened by the fact that we're all in this together. That out of many, we are one. Hopefully, you'll have a renewed sense of confidence in endodontic treatment and will consider teaching in a pre-doctoral program to share that confidence with our future dentists. Finally, I hope you will think about giving back to our specialty in a way that only you can. I know that once I go home, my life will be changed forever for having had this extraordinary chance to serve all of you. I will move to another adventure, one that will continue to fulfill the dream I envisioned as my father's pupil. You are all a part of that dream. Many of you help to establish the stable adagio that gives comfort and purpose to daily practice. Some of you will inspire the allegro movements that serve as a call to action from time to time. But all of you, each of you, contribute to the grandioso of the specialty as a whole. E pluribus unum. Thank you.